Hello and welcome to the review of my latest LEGO Hero Factory Invasion from Below mock. This time we have the Nex Defense Mech. Now this mock is one of the mechs that the minifigure sized heroes will stand in, just like the sets. And backstory for this, like I do with most of my mocks, basically it just goes along with the Invasion from Below storyline, and then Nex has this mech, which is more of a defensive mech, which you can use to defend the Hero Factory. And it's not really that offensive, it just kind of protects the Hero Factory entrances from invaders. But anyway, let's get on to the way this mock is built. So first off, we have a cockpit that holds one minifigure, and it opens up using this visor from Stormer, and you just hold in Nex and he can look through this little window right there. You can take him out. And let's actually take a look at the minifigure. So I just used the Matoro body from the Aninka LEGO system sets, and I put some orange arms on there, but basically the same. You know, we don't have access to these new minifigures yet. At least we won't for another few days. So yeah, I mean, this is the closest I could get, and I think I did a pretty decent job with him. And if you would like to see, here's a look at the cockpit. And he has actually quite a bit of room to stand in there. So if we place him back in there, let's move on to the weaponry of the mech. So he has two cannons on his shoulders right here, which are just used with these lightsaber pieces, and then we actually have some system pieces, and that's actually pretty interesting because I don't typically use system pieces. I just try to stick with the Hero Factory type stuff, but these seem to work really well with it, and I like the way they look. So his hand, I saw in most of the sets the heroes had a hand or a claw which they could pick up the villains with, and he has these two things from the Bionicle system. And they just basically, you know, they can pinch something or grab it, and they kind of have these saw-like blades, so that looked pretty cool. And it's just held on with a regular hand, and then we have one of these new pieces, which we saw in Brain Attack, and then it's just connected with the pins. So pretty basic, but it looks pretty cool. Now on this other arm, he just has a basic gun which shoots the sphere. You know, I think I could have put something else on there, but I really liked the way this worked, especially that the blue ball on there really matched the color scheme quite well, and I liked it. And finally, for the legs, these are actually not your typical legs that you would see on an XL size mock. They actually have a gray joint that's shorter than this one, and then has a smaller arm joint attached to that. So it's not the most sturdy leg ever, because these two joints right here kind of bend out of place. But as long as they're not doing that, it's typically fine when you're playing with the mock. And here's a view from the back. And something I wanted to point out is that these orange pieces on the front, they're typically used on this to shoot the spheres, but I think they actually looked really good as a machinery style type thing. So yeah, that looked pretty cool on the legs, and I wouldn't typically use that for things that aren't for their main purpose to shoot that sphere, but I really liked it. And just one last thing, on the back of this mock, if we take this off, we can kind of get a look at that. And it's just one of your tall hero bodies, and it just has other connections to it, like this piece right here, this star-shaped piece, and then it has these joints which actually connect to these pieces from the 1.0, and I'm really happy I could finally find a use for those, and I like them a lot. So yeah, that's been my review on the Invasion from Below Nex Defense Mech, and I hope you liked it. And I plan to be reviewing some of the Invasion from Below sets, so stay tuned for those, and be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.